Good evening, chat. Welcome to the stream. It's Kerbal Space Program, and we are ready for April Jules Day. April 4th will go down in history as April Jules Day, the day that I finally got around to landing something on somewhere in the Joule system. So let's do that. But first, I have to transition. There we go. We have transitioned, ladies and gentlemen. Let us begin. So, as you know, last Monday, the impossible was accomplished. Our enormous fuel tanker that I was convinced would never make it, made it. And we did it. Hang on. Do we have any active things that I need to look at? Rescue Rovin, we're working on that. Plant flag, we're working on that. We're getting there. Okay, so let's head over to Joule right away. Let's not, you know, have a bunch of ado. The Joule miner is what we're looking for. So we need to get this fella to Vol. So let's do it. Fly. Ideally in, you know, a reasonable amount of time. I don't want to be sitting here forever. So first thing, let's make sure this is off. Yes, it is. Yeah, I think I did everything that I wanted to do, except there are some RTGs that need to get transferred over. So can we open the doors? Yes, so there's batteries in there. Never mind. All right. We're gonna have Zeldrid here hop out. And she, being the engineer of the team here, is gonna move the RTGs over to this vessel so they can power our mining stuff. Since apparently Joule doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight for some reason. And we'll just slap it there for now. And you know, we'll move them around. I just want to get them onto the right craft at least. There we go. Because for whatever reason, when you're in this mode, you can't, you know, maneuver properly. There we go. All right. I think we just want to put them down here, like right above the RCS ports. Or maybe that'll look weird. What do you guys think? So a couple of options are, hello Emmykins, I hope you're enjoying the new heart emote. I really like it. Kerpay really captured the expression of the Crystal Man. All right, how about, yeah, but we just put it like right there. That's fine with me. Yeah, use that laser properly. You don't want to hurt yourself. All right, then same deal on the other side. We're gonna grab here. We're gonna just slap it right there. And that is probably okay. I mean, mechanically it's fine as far as the game is concerned. It's more of a aesthetics thing for me. All right, in we go. And let's set up. First things first, I guess this is the second thing actually. So second, we need to control from here because we want to be pointing. We want these to be pointed away, or you know what I mean. Don't make me explain these things. All right, we need to add a maneuver. Our goal is to get to Vol. We need to set that as the target, and as we can see, it's gonna be a bit away. Let's see if we can let it circle around once, if we get a better intercept. Oh. Okay, we do, yeah. We get a much better intercept. That looks great. All right. So it looks like we would be on a collision course, which obviously we don't want. Let's tweak it a bit. Oh, okay. It doesn't matter too much if we're coming in prograde or retrograde, because we're going to be landing. There's not going to be any docking here. We're just going to go straight down. Did this happen again? Okay, there it is. I'm going to say if we lost another good intercept because the game decided, no, you're not really getting an intercept. All right, that's perfect. So yeah, we come in retrograde, we slow down, we land on one of the mineral sites that we found. That's 482. So 482, we have plenty more to slow down. I think we'll be all right. So let's give it a go. How long until that? 2 days? All right, not a problem. We'll say 10 minutes out because it's going to be a long burn, it looks like. So I think, yeah, those are at 100%. So I'm going to trust that the warp is going to work, and then, you know, worst case scenario, we're still stuck in the same orbit that we were stuck in. So, all right, we're coming in now. That can't possibly be correct, can it? Where is this? Hang on here. So this is saying if we burned now, we would have an encounter in 3 days. I mean, I guess so I've got to trust what the thing says. It seems a little weird that this is going to get around here. Maybe it comes around a second time or something. Yeah, weird. Okay, but I'm gonna trust it. It's a little sketchy with no reverts, but you know, I am nothing if not resilient in the face of adversity, right? How long did it take to get a mission out here? 17 years. How many transfer windows did we have to sit through to get this done? Way too many. All right, so at around 7 minutes, we're gonna slow down and start prepping for the burn. All right, there we go. Going to point in the correct direction. Gonna give it plenty of lead time. We need to start the, wait. Burn time is 3 minutes. Oh, we need to start burning at like 1:40, not, I'm doubling the burn time instead of halving it, my bad. All right, well, you know what? While we're waiting for this, I believe I have a list of topics prepared. My producer has prepared me a list of topics to discuss today. But I don't see it anywhere around here, so I'm just gonna have to go off of memory. This weekend, we had a couple of big events. We had the Grammys, we had the WrestleMania, where, of course, the winner of WrestleMania was anyone who didn't watch it. Congratulations, you're all winners. As for the Grammys, I understand that Justin Bieber did not win, so another win for the rest of us. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and time warp here. Just take it nice and slow. Nice and easy. We don't want to overshoot, but at the same time, we don't want to sit here staring at Jewel. Although it is kind of mesmerizing. All right, now don't get distracted. Come on, I gotta watch the timer here. So once it gets to about 1:40, I'm gonna start the burn. All right, we're getting close. All right, everybody ready? Pilot ready? Everybody's good? All right, 20 seconds to go here. Emmykins is salty about BTS losing. I don't know what category, I guess best pop single from a duo or group. What? They wouldn't be competing with Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber is a solo artist. Right? Thought he was. Perhaps I am wrong. All right. There we go. This is it, guys. We're not quite out of the woods yet, but it's as long as I follow everything that I should, yeah, this should not be a problem. We should have no further issues with the things. It was a song. Okay, the song that Justin Bieber was nominated for featured somebody else. Interesting. Oh, look at this. We can actually get a prograde orbit. I'll take that. That'll buy us a little bit of safety in case we need to just circularize. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because I saw that it was basically where I wanted it to be, I think. We'll turn that off. And yeah, so it's as I suspected. We're gonna have to do a couple of orbits here. So I'm gonna manually time warp this. I'm not gonna rely on the alarm. So here we go. Just gonna take it nice and slow. We're gonna keep an eye on everything. If we need to make an adjustment at periapsis, we will do so. All right, there we, uh-oh. Oh no. Okay, not great. Okay. All right, what is the best way to avoid this? Because I really don't want to go to Lathe today. That was not on my agenda. This is what I mean when I say we're not out of the woods yet. We have an interloper, it seems. Yeah, you can see we would get kind of flung into this weird orbit if we went to Lathe. Maybe that's what the thing was trying to tell me. Like, if you go this way, it's gonna mess everything up. I didn't listen. Okay, just everybody focus. We're gonna fix this problem and we're going to create another one that we will then proceed to solve as we get to it. All right, we're just gonna do this. Yes. This seems ill-advised. But you know, there's no guarantee of that. Like, we could theoretically do like a weird slingshot maneuver like this, where we end up getting to Vol anyways because of reasons. Like, the game is currently saying, yeah, you're gonna get there. Should we trust it? Oh, I really don't want to. But you know what? The game is telling me. I got 3000 Delta V. Yeah. Let's think about this. We have some time. Man, Joule just messes with the encounters, doesn't it? Can we unset target? I don't even know, like, yeah, see, there we go. It's obvious. Okay, see, now it's flipped again. All right, so we're gonna have to get our periapsis up, it looks like. Otherwise, we're gonna run into a problem. Okay, so we just need to make it so we're not getting an encounter with Lathe. Oh, this is really sketchy. Okay, yeah, the periapsis is increasing, which is good. That means we're getting farther away from having an encounter with it. At the same time, though, we're burning a lot of Delta V here. I guess there are worse places to be stuck than in basically Vol orbit, right? Since that's where we're trying to go. Okay, can we please not have an encounter anymore? Please, game, please. Oh, gee, so much. Oh, this sucks. Okay, yep, don't want that. Nope. Okay, there we go. Okay, thank you, game. That's what I wanted. All right, so now we're down to 2300 Delta V. And that's, I believe that's just in this tank. I really hope that's the case. All right, manual time warp. Let's do this. Hello, it's Dingy. Hello, hello. I hope you're not staying up too late just to catch the beginning of the stream, man. Also, I saw you weren't playing a game today. Interesting choice. Tuesday is my I know it's a game called There Is No Game, but Tuesday is my day where I don't play games, and I highly recommend if you if you need a day that's not gaming, just chatting is a lot of fun. You know that though, you do just chatting in like the beginning of every stream. What am I talking about? Lonely by Justin Bieber and Benny Blanco. That won the Grammy for best whatever is what she's telling us, I think. All right, so how do we turn this into a win, guys? That is my question for you. Because right now, from where I'm standing, it looks like we're not going to have an encounter with Vol for a while. But maybe in a couple of oh, that was the ones that BTS was against. Oh, it did not win. That's right. You told me. You were really happy that Justin Bieber did not beat BTS. Oh, my cat is taking a shortcut onto the desk, so he may be visible shortly. So if you like, okay, no, he decided against it. But if you like seeing him on camera, that may happen soon. All right, so here we are. One of our options is to do this. And we're basically doing a rendezvous, right? Actually, let's zero this out. So we say we do 0 and we increase our orbits. Aha! All right, so the next orbit, we will have something. All right, let's get rid of that. We're just going to go around one more time. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to get it, guys. I have the Delta V. I have the position. All that we have to worry about is not crashing into Vol. Which actually, we kind of want to crash into Vol. Like, not crash, but we need to land on it, which involves getting very close. And I've never landed on Vol before, so I don't know how bad the gravity is. I really hope the thrust to weight will hold here. That is one of my concerns. All right, so I think let's set up a maneuver here. And we want to make it so we are not crashing into Vol, which, you know, that is. And then we just need to either burn retrograde or burn prograde, which in this case, it appears to be retrograde for just a few meters per second. That's good. And yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have a weird inclination, but that's okay. So let's point in the right direction. Ah, Vulcan Rider has arrived. Hello, Vulcan Rider. Welcome to the April Jewels Day stream, where we are attempting to conquer Jewel by way of Vol. All right, there we go. I see my cat has decided to come over for a visit. All right, so let me explain the situation here. We have an old, like, gross pleather couch, right? I've talked about this on stream. It's like falling apart. It is like pleather flakes everywhere. And my cat, who is down here right now, is obsessed with getting under the couch, despite the fact that there is nothing under there, and that there's a real potential he could be squished. And so me and my wife set up a piece of cardboard, like a big folded up cardboard box, to block off access under my desk. And right now he is going to town, scratching up that cardboard, trying to find a way to get under the couch. He's crazy for it. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna find down there, but he's just going for it. Anybody who has a cat or has had cats, or maybe even dogs, I don't know. I've never had dogs, so I don't know if they just do weird, quirky things. Ooh, Vulcan Rider's got to run to Lowe's. You bought a garbage disposal, but you're going to exchange it. Interesting. A garbage. I haven't lived in a house with a garbage disposal in forever. We actually have a compost bin that we use now for most leftovers, which I probably need to go turn at some point. I never remember when I'm out there. Anyway, that's the story about... Oh, I think he's done now. He realized he can't get past that cardboard. Which is good. Like, you know, he needs to know that that is one of the places in the house that he's not allowed to go. And he needs to learn to accept it. Just like he's not allowed to go down in the basement anymore because he kept drinking the gross shower water. Yeah, Emmykins is correctly pointing out that he did not attempt to get under the couch once while I was at work today. And as soon as I start streaming and I'm at the desk, he's like, oh, now's my chance. All right, we are slowing down. This is it, guys. This is our Vol encounter that we've been so eagerly awaiting. Oh, yes. It is going to be... I mean, we had a Vol encounter before, right? It just went awry. And we don't need to establish an equatorial orbit, so I'm not going to. But if this was a normal mission, I would want to get into a nice equatorial orbit and then do it just like a moon landing or mun landing. Here we go. 50 seconds to encounter. Let's get her done. So, how's everybody who is here? I saw Dingy, I saw Vulcan Rider. Vulcan Rider's going to Lowe's though. So Dingy, if you're sticking around, how has your week been? I know you're trying to get back into the swing of things with streaming. It's been rough. You got that new job, which is awesome. And yeah, I hope everything's going well. It's always nice to see people succeed in life, which I could use some vicarious experience for that. Like I get some of that from other streamers, but you know, the more the merrier. More success, more betterer, I always say. All right, so here is our periapsis. Looks good. We're gonna actually let's do the math on this. As much as I hate to do it, we need to make sure. Oh yeah, that's not a problem at all. Easy peasy. So that's a 14-second burn at periapsis to circularize. That's perfect. Or it's not circular, it's getting a capture, which is what we mostly want. Okay. And how big is Vol actually while we look at it? So it is 300 kilometers radius. The gravity is 0.23, which I think is more than the Mun. So this is probably the biggest. Well, no, Duna's higher. It's definitely the biggest non-atmosphere body that we've ever landed on. Okay. The real question is, what are we going to do with this big fuel container? We could just leave it, I suppose. Right. So this weekend, I was playing a Vintage Story again. That game has just like sunk its claws into me. It's ridiculous. And I am happy to report that I now have bees. I've got some bees living in my apiary. I have sheep, I have pigs, and I have chickens. I've got all the animals that you can domesticate. I have a bunch of bronze smelted up, and I'm looking for iron ore, which has been a little difficult. I've not had any luck finding a good place to dig for iron deposits, unfortunately. I'm hoping that changes when I get to play again, either this weekend or, you know, whenever I can squeeze it in. And I streamed that game a couple of times, but I don't know if it, like, it's like Minecraft. It doesn't really lend itself well to an engaging stream. We are lined up and ready to burn. Let's keep our eyes on getting as loose of a, I've forgotten the word. Whatever. We need to get as loose of an orbit as we can. Then I think I've changed my mind and I want to adjust inclination. Although, do I though? It's going to cost a lot of delta V and it's probably not worth the effort. At the same time though, it'll make, well, hold on. Yeah, I think we want to, because we want to land on the equator, because we want to launch directly to Joule 1. So let's see how bad it is. 31.3, that is pretty bad. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I believe it is more efficient to do your inclination change, your plane change further out. So we're gonna wait. All right, looping around once again. Gonna take a couple of in-game hours. Too bad Kitty isn't here with their bee emotes. I think those are global emotes. Can't you just use those? And yes, I'm very happy with the bees. I get a bunch of honey, which is kind of a vital component for both healing and for making jam, which is how you preserve fruits. Which over the course of the winter, as all the trees died off and the bushes stopped growing their berries and stuff, I had no fruit in my diet, which caused some problems. My character had scurvy. It was a bad time. Gotta get your vitamin C, guys. Don't forget. Do not neglect the vitamin C. All right, we're coming in here. And we are almost ready. Although I feel like there are ways other than honey to make jams or jellies. Like, can't you just use like sugar by itself? Maybe, I don't know. Can you pickle fruits? I guess you'd have like a tomato. Now there are no tomatoes in the game. Bad example. No, those are roots. Oh, I guess the game doesn't really have fruit in the sense of like vegetable crops. As carrots, which are a root, turnips are a root, parsnips are a root. Cabbage is like a leaf. And I know you can pickle cabbage because it makes sauerkraut and it is delicious. But yeah, there's not like tomatoes, which are a fruit, of course, that you can you pickle tomatoes? You have to be, or cucumbers. Cucumbers are like, that's the traditional pickle, right? Those are a fruit. And I don't want to get into like a whole argument like, oh, well, you know, a fruit is like blah, blah, blah. Like if it comes from a flower, it's a fruit. That's how this works. And I go with the like broadest definition possible, which is a vegetable is any part of the plant you can eat. So all fruits are actually vegetables. Free hot take for you guys. But not all vegetables are fruits. Like a potato. Is a potato a vegetable? Whatever. Cabbage is a vegetable. But the fruit of the cabbage is something else. I don't know what it is or what you call it. Is that what Brussels sprouts are? No, that's not right. They're just like little cabbages. Do we have a botanist in the chat, maybe? That would be helpful. Somebody who can confirm or deny what the fruit of the cabbage plant is called. Do we eat it? We grow a lot of cabbage. I imagine we have to eat, or at least use it somehow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go to periapsis. And we're going to circularize. Then we're going to pick a landing site, make sure we land on the day side so we can see what we're doing and make sure it's flat. And then we're going to give it a go. And I do want to check something in the VAB before I go through with this. So once I get circularized, we're going to head back to the KSC. We're going to check something. And I can actually unset the target. Then we're going to try to land. And the thing that I'm checking is to make sure that our thrust to weight is high enough to actually land here. All right. There we are. Let's go to retrograde. Because boy, how embarrassing would that be if I tried to land and then my engines weren't strong enough and we just crashed. And I wasted 17 years for nothing. Well, not nothing, 2 dead Kerbals and a ruined mining vessel. I feel like I checked beforehand, but I'd maybe good to double check after all these time not having checked. All right, what else we have to talk about tonight? Morbius came out and I heard it is terrible. And yet it will make money because people think it's a Spider-Man movie. Tangentially, it is, I think. And this is my problem with the whole multiverse thing, right? You're opening up a can of worms where, okay, well, how far does this thing go? What movies are quote unquote canon? Like, what actually happened? What does everybody know? Like, are the X-Men from an alternate reality and they're gonna come to our universe and now all the events of all the other movies are canon and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, once it gets to that level, that's where I nope out. That's where comic books get too weird for me. It's getting there. Well, we'll see how Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness handles things, but I've always said once it gets into the comic book nonsense, I'm out. Been pretty grounded thus far. All right, so that's a nice circular orbit. We are gonna duck out briefly. Oh, look at this thing, it's beautiful. So we're gonna duck out to the KSC real quick. We're gonna check the thrust to weight ratio. We're gonna make sure this thing can actually land. Don't want to crash. And do not want. We're gonna go to the VAB. We're gonna open up the it's like mining. The min miner, yes, that's what it's called. And then we just need to check that it can land on Vol. Does it have? It does. Okay, it has 2.2 thrust weight. That's not huge, but it's enough that we can slow down, I think. Do not save that. And I realize we could have checked that in flight, but since I have another piece on there, I didn't want to risk it. All right, the jewel miner, yes. Now, all we need to do is pick the landing site, do the landing, and everybody's happy. At least somebody's happy, maybe not everybody. I'm actually kind of tempted to, I mean, we can leave this here. Like, it's not an issue. Well, let's take a look at the resources here. Or, yes. We want to find the highest concentration we can. It looks like 70% is the most. And this looks like a nice flat spot. Unfortunately, it's dark currently. So why don't we go ahead and time warp until it becomes light. Or we could do this spot. This is kind of nice. And I believe the Vol is rotating this way. You know, like all the other planet. Wait, is that right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll just land here. That's fine. We just need to transit to the other side of the planet, like so. And we should be good. Also, guys, remind me to hydrate. I've been not remembering basically all day. Like I have it's not quite as big as this one, but I have a water bottle at work, and I'm supposed to go through like at least 1.5 per day, but I have not been living up to that standard. All right, so we are going to decouple. Undock. Yep. Okay. We're going to switch to this one. We're going to use RCS to back away. We're going to switch back. Close the... Well, we can leave the shield open, actually. It's like we're in a vacuum. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then we want to make sure we're controlling from here. We want to go retrograde. All right, this is it, guys. We're going to bring in the solar panels, you know, for safety. And we are going to activate the engine. Here we go. Listen to that baby purr. Oh, yes. So just going to bring that periapsis down. We can probably put it somewhere around here. Like, I don't know what the... Poodle going? Yeah, there it is. Max throttle, that's good. I don't know. Like I said, I've never landed on Vol before, so I don't know. We're gonna take it nice and easy on the way down. We should have plenty of fuel. And we're just gonna mine more once we get there. Ugh. Palms are sweaty, guys. There's a whole new situation for me to find myself in. Landing on an alien moon. It's not Ike or Gilly. I think we're gonna call that good. Let's get the landing gear down. Orient myself properly. That's not right. It's the other way. Like this. Yes. There we go. Okay. And the two things we need to keep an eye on are our altitude above the surface. And we're aiming for this general ice field right around here. Okay. This isn't going to be quite as easy as Minmus, but I don't think it's going to be... I don't know. It's no Duna, it's no Eve. It's no Gilly either, which, you know, Gilly's another easy Delta V wise to land on, but it's also kind of frustrating because of how low gravity it is. Causes its own set of problems. Right. So we're 30,000 meters over the surface. And like I said, I think at this point we just kind of want to kill our velocity. Which isn't like the most efficient way to land, but it's the way we're going to. Switch to surface mode here. And yeah, we do want to keep an eye on how fast we're reducing our velocity, because that's going to determine when we want to start our burn. Oh, look at that. That's cool. The jewel rise coming over the horizon there. Okay, just slow it on down. Take it nice and easy. We're kind of overshooting the field, but anywhere in this pink zone is good. I think it's not a huge deal. All right, yeah, that should work. So yep, there goes the Jewel lander zipping away from us. There goes our long-range fuel delivery drone, which will now be relegated to being a giant fuel tank until we have use for it. Extend antenna. We will hopefully be able to get a connection once the Jewel station comes back around. I call it the Jewel station. It's really a Vol station, right? Oh, that is so cool looking. Just proof right here, you don't need visual mods to make KSP look amazing. That should be the screenshot. I'm taking that. Oh, okay. Disable, please. Ah, here it goes. Yeah, that's right. Taking a screenshot for the YouTube thumbnail, maybe. Urban, don't stay up too late just to watch more KSP. But actually do. Having you here really boosts my confidence. Where are we at here? Alright, let's turn on the engines. We do need to slow down. I'm actually going to go like this to try to slow our horizontal velocity. Okay. And do this. I guess, yeah, you're a freelancer, so it doesn't really matter how late you stay up. I sadly am locked into a pretty rigid schedule. Like, I can take a day off, but I gotta, like, take the whole day off. Okay. See where we're landing still? Okay, this is perfect. So we're just gonna do it the normal way now. I feel like we overshot a good landing site, but at the same time, it's probably about the same. We just have more texture because we're closer here. Okay. Also, hey, so great news, everybody. We are 1 sub away from getting a new emote slot. I know, it's crazy. So the next person who subs gets to pick... No, I'm not gonna... No, that's not gonna work. I do have some ideas, though. Oh, we better start slowing down. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, well... Yeah, it's not the worst thing ever. Let's, Oh boy, okay. This is gonna be a little toasty, I think. 150. Uh-oh. 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 Whew, okay, heart's pounding here. Okay, we're good, I think. Okay, I think we're good. Oh boy, talk about a suicide burn. Holy moly. Okay. Wow. Yeah, don't, maybe don't do that. All right, let's slow it on down. Oh boy, yikes. That was efficient. Yeah, sure, that was really efficient at getting my heart rate up. That's my exercise for the day, I guess. Oh, there's a rock over there. That's so cool. Oh boy. Yeah, that was horrifying. I was like, oh, yeah, let's not lose our miner, and then I come in screaming at 250 meters per second. All right, let's get it nice and low. So we're gonna point radial out now, so we're straight up and down. And we're gonna just do a nice, easy, clean, gentle touchdown. Alrighty. We made it, guys. We did it. Whew. All right. We have landed on the surface of Vol. Yes, we have. I see we get some Z fighting there for some reason. So I'm sure that the people up in the landing craft are upset that they weren't the first to land. So we're gonna go ahead and land them next. Ooh, all right, drills deployed. And I think we can just start the mining. Let's see how things go. And I can see now that our electric charge is not gonna stand for this. Yeah, the sun is just a tiny little dot. So solar panels aren't great, and the RTGs can only do so much. Is the ISRU on? The ISRU is not even on, guys. This is just the drills. Ooh, that's not great. Maybe we can turn one off. Still not great. Yeah. Okay, so this will be a very long-term project, I guess. I probably should have put fuel cells on here. That would have been smart. Can I show the solar power I'm getting? Yes. That is how much I am getting. 0.97. 0.97. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, hang on. I gotta put the radiators out. Forgot about that. Yep. There we go. Yeah, so the next supply mission that we send to Joule should send a fuel thingy. Yeah, we're really far away from the sun. I don't even think about that. So that's why I put the RTGs on here, but those are clearly not enough. I'm actually curious, how much do they give? It doesn't say. Generators nominal, efficiency 1. Yeah, okay. So what does that mean exactly? I wonder if it's feasible to have the engine running just to get an alternator. Probably not that efficient. It's 0.3 a second. Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? That's not nearly enough. I mean, we got 5 ore. That's not too... No, it's really bad. All right, fuel cells it is, guys, I guess. So let's head over to... What was that? Did you guys hear that? That was unusual. Okay. Sure. Drilling? Oh, that was the drilling sound effects. Okay. Thank you. There's no sound in space. That makes no sense. All right, now we're going to locate the Joule lander, and we're going to land it actually right next to the other thing. And I believe Val is in this one, so Val is going to get to be the first Kerbal to set foot on Vol. All right, so we have 2 scientists in here. I guess that works. I think we brought them to just level them up. They're not actually here to do anything. Okay. So let's go ahead. You know, I'm actually a little concerned that this might not have enough Delta V to land on Vol. So let's check that real quick. There isn't, yeah, there is sound in the loading screens, but not in space. An interesting little audio bug, I guess. All right, let's check out the lander and make sure it can actually land where I want it to land before we try to land it there. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but that was pretty scary when I tried to land the mining vessel and we were coming in really fast. So I would prefer not to do that again. And what is that thing called? Not the Munlander. The Min Miner? No, that's space station, Untitled Eve station. Is it the Munlander? That can't be right. Joule 1, interplanetary scan set, interplanetary fuel delivery. Gilly Lander is... No, I think it's like a Duna Lander. There it is. Gonna say. We didn't use this to get to Gilly. Alright, so first thing, we reroute it. Here. Take this whole piece off. No. Flip Flip it over. And then check the delta V on vol. Or I guess check the thrust to weight. 11.42. All right, that's good. And does anybody know off the top of their head what the delta V is to land on vol? I guess I can look it up real quick. We'll check the delta V map while we wait for this to load. Okay. ESP delta V map. All caps for some reason. I really should have this saved somewhere on my computer instead of Googling it every time. All right, so to land on vol, 860. 860. That's not quite enough delta V to land on vol. All right, well, all right, hang on. Before I say that, let's see what happens if we decouple, because it might be a lot more than that. Vol, Jalander. And if it's not enough to land, whatever, we have the mining ship. We can just send that up and down. Val can hitch a ride or something. We can always send this thing to like pole or whatever. So yeah, it has 786 by itself. So if we were to say, but wait, this isn't Val, this is Verbury. Where the hell's Val? All right, not important. I think she might be flying the other thing. Transfer crew. Wait, who's in here? Nobody in here. Oh, because Rovin is not a crew member yet. Right. Okay. No, wait, there's somebody in there. What the heck? Who was in there? Rovin is in. Oh, Rovin's already in there. Okay. Rovin is a scientist that for some reason is in here, even though there's no way I'm going to try to land this with a scientist in it. But let's move Rovin over here and move Verbury over here, and then quickly undock and switch and activate engine. Oh, okay, yeah, this is fine. That's 2100 delta V is plenty, right? And Urban, I saw that you said try X. Yeah, you're right. I should just put X after everything. Kerbal X, space X, Duna X. I don't know what the obsession is with that. Final Fantasy X. Just, it never ends with these people. Let's go ahead and redock. And then we will prepare ourselves for the... Uh-oh. Did we not go far enough away? We didn't go far enough away, did we? That's frustrating. You have to go like 2 meters away, I think. It gives you an extra 300 meters per second just by putting an X at the end. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I gotta try that. All this time, it's been eluding me how to squeeze more delta V out of the same parts, but now I know. All right, I think hopefully it's 2 meters, otherwise we're gonna have a bit of a problem here. Oh, okay, I think I see the magnets. Maybe, yeah, there it goes. All right, perfect. So, Verbury, who for some reason is not Val, I guess will be the first person to set foot on Vol. So, Val must be at the station then, right? And yeah, Rovin is in fact the person that we're trying to recover. Scott Manley told you? Well, if Scott Manley says it, it has to be true. It's in his name. He's a manly man. All right, let's find our site. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and warp around very quickly. The plan is we land near our landing site here. Then we, I don't know, get out, do all the science. We launch back up, rendezvous with the long range, wait, what? Oh, rendezvous with the rest of the lander. Okay. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay. Let's go ahead and decouple. We will point a retrograde first. No. Oh, that's right. Okay, we're good. So we are pointing retrograde, I think. And we don't get a whole lot of power out here on these, do we? We just have these little baby solar panels. We got to keep an eye on that. Yeah. Looks like we're nice and steady. Undock. Switch to the little guy. Back it off. Just slowly drift away. Then we're going to flip around to go retrograde. Like so. We're going to wait till we're not, you know, going to blast our other ship before we do anything else. We'll go ahead and drop the landing links. Better to do it now, right? Than forget about it later. All right. It's been a fun April Jewels day, I think. Been a good time. All right. So here is our target. I do not have the mod that tells you where you're going to land, so we're going to be doing this with our eyes. My very special Kerbal eyes. I am bipedal and I have forward-facing eyes, which means I am a predator. Just like the Kerbals. I really hope that KSP2 has a little bit more lore on the Kerbals. I feel like that's something that is kind of lacking. Like, do Kerbals have pets? Do they have a civilization that isn't just built around making a science program? Do they have cities? I mean, you can have a mod that adds cities to Kerbin. But like, maybe, you know, maybe they don't. Maybe they live in little huts. It's Stone Age except for the rocket technology. Like, well, we can go to space, but, you know, everything else is medieval era. We're still using beasts of burden to plow the fields, and you had to reply on that fanfic I sent you. Oh yeah, that's true. The fan fiction, you have to kind of make up your own canon as you go. All right, we are switching to surface. This should be a little bit easier because the thrust to weight is a lot better, so we can get a good bit closer. In fact, I am gonna go ahead and do this. Is there seriously no normal? Okay, we do need orbit. That is anti-normal. I want to go normal. I would like to line up my trajectory with that. Wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. That's good enough. All right, let's make sure we don't crash again. Not that we crashed the last time, but we still need to make sure we don't. All right, there is our target. Yeah, that fan fiction's actually pretty intense as far as like filling in the lore of the Kerbals, especially some of the more adult scenes. Definitely fills in a lot of the gaps that the game leaves wide open. I'm concentrating now, so if I do not see your message, please forgive me. I will check back in hopefully under 2 minutes. I would like to get this done sooner rather than later. Okay, there we go. Works for me. Now we'll just go ahead and rely on a more... Okay, so we're slowing it down. Let's try not to kill ourselves again. My heart rate's not supposed to go up that much unless I'm actually exercising. I don't think so. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, I guess there's the problem we have to like take off again. Yeah, that could be a bit of an issue. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I think that might become a problem. Yeah. A bit of a problem, I think. But yeah, there's fuel down there, but that doesn't really help me, does it? Well, because we can't connect the ships up unless I dock them together, right? So even if there is fuel down here, I can't actually get it without some shenanigans. Flip and dock, yeah. Yeah, flip and dock, yeah, sure, easy. I don't even know if the RCS can handle this. So that might not work. Yeah, I probably should have thought about the fact that I need to, like, come back. Well, you know, I think it said it needs 860 to circularize or to, like, take off, so we should probably still be able to get it. We might have to use a little bit of RCS too, though, and I could probably do this as well. Just let it drift for a bit. Okay, yeah, that's good. 860, so that gives us like a... Oh, hold on. Yeah, let's not freak me out again. Jeez. Okay. There we go. Bit of a hard landing, but that's okay. Those solar panels open. Yeah, so 960, that gives us 100 delta V to spare. If we're very careful and we use our RCS a bit, I think we should be okay. Ah, yes, we finally get some seismic stuff. Gas is rising for the planet. I'm assuming that's supposed to be from the planet. Appear to occasionally register slight pulses. Either that or the instrument is on the fritz. Maybe. We just don't know. Get some temperature. Get some gravity data. Get a crew report. And let's hop out and get some other samples, huh? All right, first surface walk on Vol. That's us. Let's go. Ta-da! Look at me. I'm walking on Vol. Let's get a flag. Do. Lowlands site. And Vareberry did it. That she did. Great work, Vareberry. Now let's go ahead and grab An EVA report. The surface occasionally rumbles beneath you. You think you should probably get back to the ship. Uh-oh. Probably fine. You chip away the frozen surface and deposit some of the blue surface material into a container. Alrighty. Well, that's enough for me. So we did the flag. We got a bunch of money. Wow, that's a lot of money. That almost pays for the fuel we had to send out here. We planted a flag. That gives us that. The only other thing... We can send surface data, I guess. We have enough power, which we should. Yeah, we're good. Let's go ahead and review the report, and we will... Oh, okay, never mind. We do not currently have a way to transmit. Then I was going to say we could hop out and go get a rock, but I think the closest rock is like kind of far away. Oh no, it's right over there. Yeah, that's not too far. Well, it looks kind of big. I wonder if it's one of the ones you have to scan or if it's a regular Kerbal-sized one. Yeah, it's not that far. We can probably just walk over there. And yeah, let me double check the Delta V map here. So it says 860 to get into a 15-kilometer orbit. I am willing to trust that number. If it's anything like the Mun or Minmus, I should be able to pull it off. And it's a lot like the Mun, actually. All right, so just hop out again and go grab that rock. So, what do you guys want to talk about while we're doing this? Because this is going to take a bit of time. See, how bad is the jumping? Oh, that's not too bad, actually. We could I can't, yeah. It's not quite RCS-able like I'm in this. You've already also got some emergency fuel in the RCS pack. That's true. Worst case, wait, was that a geyser? Oh, that's rad. What the heck? That's probably, I think that's one of the features you need to scan with the scanning arms. That's super cool though. I wish Kerbals could also just scan too, because, you know, why do we have to send a rover? I've got a Kerbal right here that can just look at it. You know, take some notes and whatever. And yeah, so whether we're getting out to push or we just yeet ourselves further into orbit, I think we should be safe. Again, there's no atmosphere, so nothing to slow us down. It's just a matter of pointing in the right direction and going hard. Look at her go, guys. She's having a great time. It's a quarter of the gravity of Kerbin, so it'll be a lot of fun. Jumping around. All that stuff. We have a geyser over there. It looks like there's another rock over there. Maybe that's... No, that's... There's something on my screen also. Like on the actual monitor. Then I can also see there's a little pixel over there of something. So if this one doesn't end up working out, we might end up running to a different one. Not sure Kerbal can carry an entire lab on its arm like a rover. I guess some of those arms are pretty big. Still though, like what exactly is... yeah, it's got like a centrifuge and all that stuff. I suppose I could take the sample and send it up to the science lab though. That would count, I would think. But I guess not. We're almost there, guys. Whatever this is, it's quite large. Yeah, I see another, I think there's another geyser, kind of. It's like stuff is popping in just barely. So I can see something over there. I can see a pixel over there. And I'm sure the compression in Twitch is not helping. If you're watching on like a phone or something, it's even worse. And where... Oh, okay, I guess we're just X-raying now. I'm cheating in Minecraft, guys. Look at that. How far away were we from the ship? Oh, geez, I can't even. Oh, there it is. It's like over there, I guess. That's not too far. All right, I've definitely walked worse distances than this in this game. I'm a little concerned this one might be a little bit too big. It is quite large. But while we're doing this, so we need to do something from Duna, we need to do something from Ike. We need to get science data from the surface, which a Val ice chunk is what we're looking for. And of course, that stupid Eve mission that we're never going to get to do. This does look like an ice chunk to me. Let's take a look here. I see some other geysers off in the distance. But other than that, yeah, then there's that pixel over here that you guys probably can't see. And we can always just like move the camera over there if this doesn't end up working out. So Urban, when are we going to get you into something besides KSP? Even just one day a week. We could squeeze that in. We could do Transport Tycoon Deluxe. We could do City Skylines. I actually was going to do Surviving Mars this week, but now I'm not sure. I think I'll do at least one session of it, I guess. I don't know how much fun it's going to be to stream. Like, I'm sure it's like plenty fun to play. But again, it's one of those games where unless you know what's going on, and I won't know what's going on because I've never played it. We just played we played Stellaris once. Oh, Clown Fiasco's here to tell us, or to not tell us about their day, hopefully. And you're excited to watch an April Jules Day. Yes, it is April 4th, April Jules Day. We're hanging out on Vol. Jewel is under the ground. We just ran across the surface to get to this ice chunk. Urban has even more KSP to play than normal with the community Jewel stuff. Yeah, I suppose. You really managed to stretch KSP content in a way that is quite impressive. Uh-oh. Clown Fiasco had to wear pants and be at an office. Well, that's my life every day. You will get very little sympathy for me. Except that, you know, I don't like it either. I did convince my boss to let me work from home more often, though, which will be nice. Yeah, I don't think our Kerbal here is going to be able to pick this one up, guys. It's quite large. But I guess we'll find out when we get really close. Oh, pants. I wish I didn't have to wear pants. I think shorts are just fine. Can we... No? Can we do anything with this, or is it just... It's another one of those, huh? All right. Before we go any further... So we have this ice chunk, which looks a lot smaller. So I guess we're going over to that one. All right, here we go. Let's go, Verbury. All right, back on that sprinting grind. Clown Fiasco says, I'm okay. My bosses like my product idea, but you had to go. Oh, that's why you were in the office. All right. Interesting. I don't get to come up with product ideas because I'm an accountant. I just have to make sure that all the books tie. But there's a quiet joy to that, making sure everything looks good. It's like I got to make sure that the numbers that come from one department match the numbers that we have. All the stuff that gets sold and blah, blah, blah. It really is it's a very boring job, but in the most like satisfying way possible. There's no real excitement. It's very predictable. You do the thing, you make sure it all goes to the right place, and then you're done. The most exciting thing I have to deal with is when somebody, you know, miskeyed a number or put something to the wrong account or whatever. Apparently the owner of that football team in Washington skimmed 40% of the ticket sales revenue and withheld it from the league. Uh-oh. That's not really accounting, though. That's just fraud. Although I suppose that an accountant should have caught it. But really, if... So let's see. How would that work? So you would have to... You would get all the revenue. And then that would go, you know, you debit you debit your revenue, you expense... No, that's not right. Hang on. You credit cash, you debit revenue or whatever. You debit cash and you... I'm mixing this up, guys. Okay. So you would debit cash and you would credit revenue. Which, if you don't know what that means, don't worry, it's not that important. So the only way you could really get away with that is if you were underreporting the total ticket sales. Or if the people in accounting didn't know how much, like didn't have that information. Like if I sell widgets, or if my company sells widgets, and they sell 100 widgets and they say, okay, widgets cost $5. So when people buy it, it's gonna be, you know, $5. But actually, they're selling the widgets for $10. I wouldn't know that, because if they're taking the half from the price before it even shows up on the books, then I wouldn't notice. Anyway, that is interesting. Hopefully they're gonna come down hard on that guy. I have no tolerance for fraud. Like, if you're gonna scam people, do it the old-fashioned way. Selling them something they don't need. Oh, this is such a long walk, guys. Kerbals are too small. Nah, they're probably just right. It just seems like their heads are, like, enormous, but it's just because of the helmet. Like, their heads are pretty reasonable sized in there. Ugh. So, other than having a successful presentation for an awesome product idea, how else have you been doing? For everybody who missed the April Fool's Day stream on Friday, that was a ton of fun. Obviously, I can't do another April Fool's Day till next year. But if you haven't, really, there wasn't that much April Foolery going on. It was just a normal Star Sector stream, but I started it off in Arabic, which was a night. Wait, are you still wearing pants? Take them off. What are you doing? I take my pants off as soon as I walk in the door. It's like I'm inside. I'm in the house. No pants. This is a no pants zone. I don't count pajama pants as actual pants in this scenario, by the way. All right, we are almost to the ice chunk. This looks a lot more manageable for this little Kerbal. Yeah, I gotta wear pants every day at work. It sucks. And a button-up shirt, which is whatever. Like, it's not that uncomfortable. So, and, you know, really at the end of the day, the outfit that I wear at work isn't that bad. Like, it could be much worse. I was in the army, and really pick up ice chunk. There we go. The uniform that I had when we were in was, aside from the beret, pretty comfortable. And then when I was getting out, just get comfy here. When I was getting out, they switched back to the patrol caps, the regular hats. All right, Clown Fiascos has a fun fact. I have a computerized prosthetic leg. Oh, you're like an android. When it's on, pants are on. It's kind of a pain in the leg to take the pants off and keep the leg on. Huh. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That's awesome that you're an android, though. I look forward to the day when robot legs are superior to these fleshy human legs and I can just get them removed. Not technically. Oh, a cyborg. Right. Yeah. Androids are like robots that look human. Cyborgs are humans that have robot parts. or electronic parts or whatever, however you want to define it. Does anybody know where cyborg originally comes from? I assume some science fiction writer somewhere came up with the term and was like, ah, yes, the people in my science fiction book are called cyborgs because they are cyber organisms. Cybernetic organisms, there we go. Now we just have to run 600 meters to get back to the ship. That wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse. At least we're not doing this on Duna. Although Val did have to run quite a ways on Duna to get those blueberries. So yeah, I think so. Tomorrow, of course, we have Emmykins on the Tuesday stream. So if you guys have been looking forward to seeing Emmykins, she's going to be front and center. We're going to be playing Monster Prom and doing dumb personality quizzes. And she'll probably be drinking wine, which will be hilarious. On Wednesday, I'm leaning towards Surviving Mars. I want to try that out. I got it on Steam. It's just been sitting there. I haven't opened it yet. I want to say I played a demo a couple years ago, but other than that, I don't know the whole system. So I'll be learning that all fresh. And then Friday, we'll be back with more Star Sector. We beat the Doritos last Friday. If you don't know what the Doritos are, difficult boss battle. So there you go. And oh boy, was that a mess. Not only did I have to get a bunch of ships, outfit them correctly, and then basically cheese the enemy fleet, the boss ships. I then had to gather up 25,000 units worth of materials in order to build the thing that I wanted to build. And even once I had built it, I still can't take advantage of it because I'm missing certain materials being produced. Anyway, that's what's on the docket for this week. KSP tonight, Emmykins tomorrow, Mars on Wednesday, Star Sector on Friday. You missed the first part of the stream. Why did you walk like 2 kilometers? Oh, to pick up some ice chunks. I had to collect some surface samples from Vol. That's one of my missions. Say Val ice chunk. Vol ice chunk that needs to come back to Kerbal with me. So we're gonna do that. Nobody except maybe Vulcan. Oh, well, there's also possibly an alien who's excited to see you. Clown Fiasco is apparently excited. I'm sure Urban is excited. I think other people have expressed excitement as well. But it remains to be seen if they will actually remember to show up tomorrow. All right, Urban's excited too. He wants to see me lose at Monster Prom again. I think I might just be cursed at that game. Every time I've tried to play, I have fallen short of getting a date to Monster Prom, and I lose. Even though it's like a pretty straightforward game where you just have to get your stats high enough. I can't seem to manage it. All right, almost there. 170 meters to go. Just taking all of my patience for the night. Also, how does the camera's looking a little shadowy? Let me ask my producer if we can get the lights on in here. All right, lights are coming on, guys. We're gonna see if this fixes the shadow issue. Not really. All right. Such is life. I think I need another light. It's okay, Star. You've been out of the dating game for a while. It's true, I've been married for 12 years, 13 years this month, so I've been married almost 13 years. And at my age, that's probably a lot. Now's your chance to guess how old you think I am. Put your guesses in the chat, and then we'll decide. Emmykins, you can't, because you know how old I am. All right, we're finally back. Now, the real question is, can we get this thing into space? That is the question. Forward. Oh, we have a signal. Perfect. Let's transmit. Here we go. Report. Grab another one. 5 dog years old. So how much is a dog year? Like 7? No, that's not right. Like 7 years? So it'd be 35? Close. It's not 34. Ooh. Getting in there. Gamer Elliptical with a very close guess. Do I look that old to you guys? What's wrong with you? No, you're fine. You guys are very close. And I think the I've given enough information in streams that like you can kind of age me based on my taste in movies and TV shows and such. All right. Oh, and Urban says more than 4. Yes, more than 4 is correct. All right. So let's wait. Oh, we can probably turn this off. Hang on. Turn off, please. So we need to wait for our lander to come back around. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, there we go. The answer will not surprise you. I'm not super old, but I'm also not super young anymore. But yeah, I have been married for almost 13 years. I know I can't compete with Vulcan Rider, who's been married for like 60 years or whatever. But, you know, I'll get there someday. Okay. Here's our target. Let's go ahead and just go for it then, huh? This is how you take off, right? Just gotta burn for the horizon. It's like shooting a gun. If you shoot a gun with enough force, you can just shoot a bullet around the earth and it'll come back and hit you in the face. Uh-oh. Okay. No, I think we're good. I think this is good. So we're at an apoapsis of around 14. And once we get there, we can go ahead and circularize. And we're already going pretty darn fast. The only issue I could see is if we were, you know, gonna hit the terrain, but I think we're good. Okay. Also, I think I might need to get a new surge protector because I recently, like yesterday, was just kind of, you know, sitting at my desk, had my feet down under the desk, and my foot hit the switch on the surge protector and shut off my computer in the middle of me gaming. And if that happens during a stream, I'm going to be very upset. So it would be nice if... Okay, yeah, it looks like we're going to clear these mountains. Pretty close, though. Wow. Yeah, that's a little... It's a little sus. Anyway, yeah, so I either need to cover up the switch or move it or something. I don't know. It's just in a really awkward spot where I'm liable to just kick it. All right, so yeah, we did clear the mountains. It looks like that's good. And our apoapsis is around 15. Which I believe it said 15 was 860 meters per second. So I see 135 and I'm scared because this is a lot closer than I would like to be. But I think it's about right based on how much delta V we had remaining when we were landed. Anyway, so the answer to your guys' question, or to my own question, I guess, you guys didn't ask this. I am 32 years old. If I look older, it's because I was in the army for 5 years and it stressed me out. And it rapidly aged me. Oh, look at that beautiful shot of Jewel coming up over the horizon. Incredible. Just imagine being one of the first people to live on like the moons of Jupiter. And this is what you get to see every day. No, probably not, because you'll be underground in like a reinforced bunker. But maybe you'll get to see it on the way in, you know, when you're stopping at the spaceport. Gamma Elliptical is in the Navy. Yeah, it's like all the Navy guys that I dealt with were mostly pretty chill, but it's still, you know, ultimately you're still giving up a lot of your free time in exchange for some pretty decent benefits, actually. We are headed, yeah, so we've cleared the worst potential spots for collision, which was this mountain range, and now we should be cruising to our apoapsis. Then it's just a matter of circularizing. So what do we got? We got a couple of army. I got married at 20. I got married at 19. That is correct. Again, I was in the army. So there's a very big incentive to get married as soon as possible. Yeah, okay, so I joined the army when I was 18. Then I was in for a year, I turned 19, and then like a few months before I turned 20, I got married. So there you go, yeah. It's not for everybody, but it worked out for me. And for that I am very grateful. The trick is you don't just want to marry a stripper or whatever a lot of guys do. You want to, you know, I had been dating my wife for a year or two in high school. And we had moved in together before I joined the army, so, you know, the plan was to stay together. Gamer Elliptical's having a pretty chill Monday. Nice. I am also having a pretty chill Monday. It's been nice. I've actually been getting ahead of all my work. Oh, we cannot warp faster. Okay, gotcha. I guess we just have to sit through this. So I'm taking the initiative at work and trying to get all my work done ahead of time. So that way I can just chill instead of procrastinating until the last minute like I usually do. It helps that I've basically got systems in place to knock everything out in like 2 days if I put my mind to it. I married my high school sweetheart. That's cute. So yes, I did. Like I said, if it's a good gig if you can get it, but it doesn't always work out. I definitely rolled pretty high on that particular skill check. All right, we're still below the threshold, it seems. What is it? Below 24.5. All right, yeah. We just have to wait. And we'll put that on there. So now we just wait 1 minute and 40 seconds, and I have to kill some dead air here. What else can we talk about? Some life advice for all of you people out there. Maybe I can give some of that. Do finish school. Try to stay away from like the hardest of drugs. Don't touch girls without their permission. Or, you know what? Don't touch anyone without their permission. I say girls specifically because of that WikiHow article, How to Touch a Girl. Gamer Elliptical turns 26 in 2 days. Still figuring out relationships. Yeah, I always say that I got married so that I wouldn't have to deal with dating in my 20s and 30s. But, you know, I'm being a little bit facetious there. you get married because you want to get married, not just to avoid hassle down the line. That's just a benefit. Right, so we're gonna start the burn. And I think I'm starting the burn a little too early. But yeah, our periapsis is coming up rapidly. We should be fine. So what advice can I give Gamer Elliptical? Not that they asked for it. So you're in the Navy. Okay. Or wait, so it said, are you still in the Navy or have you gotten out at this point? I should have quit while I was ahead. No. That's not what I do. I'm not a quitter. I just remember when I was in language school that we saw the Navy guys playing Duck Duck Goose for PT one day. And that's all that I'll ever remember about the Navy. I think also they got to swim a lot, which was cool. I got to swim a little bit, but like for PT, I mean. You have 5 more years. Holy moly. Good luck with that. Are you enlisted or an officer? If you know, feel free to not share any of this stuff. But it's a completely different world, I think, depending on which track you're on. All right, where is our target? Here it is. Okay. So let's push up our apoapsis so that it is intersecting. Okay, perfect. And yeah, looks like we'll need to adjust our inclination a bit. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, all right, we're good. And away we go. We're in a circular orbit and we've got 100 meters per second left, which should be plenty to dock. And then once we're docked, it's all about letting the other part of the ship do the work. All right, so we're on the descending node, which means we want to ascend, which means we want to go north. So let's go north. Enlisted, yeah. There you go. I was also enlisted, you know, because I didn't go to college. I ended up going eventually after I got out, but I didn't go before. I had planned on it. And then, you know, surprise, surprise, I was super lazy about actually applying to any colleges or making any plans beyond, yeah, I'll just like apply to college and then go, I guess. Which turns out is not a acceptable way to plan your future. Or at least not an acceptable way to plan to go to college. Like, I have no idea looking back, like what my goal was, like what I was just gonna move out and get a job like at McDonald's or something. That's not gonna work. You can't make enough money working at McDonald's to support yourself. I mean, maybe you should be able to, but you couldn't when I did it. All right, let's loop around here. We have 91 meters per second left. It's not the best, but also not the worst I've ever seen. Set as target. Ah, there we go. Okay. Yes, we're just going to go ahead and get our separation down a bit. We're going to let time do most of the work here because wait a minute. No, that's not going to work, is it? Hang on. We're going to have to burn a little bit more than that. Okay. 110. All right, we'll call that good. So when I was in the army, and I'm not shy about what I did. I was an Arabic linguist. That means I went to language school for like a year and a half to learn Arabic, and then I went to secret squirrel school to learn how to do my job. And so by the time I got out of training, I only had like 2 years left to go. One of those I went to Afghanistan, the other one I was home, and then I got out. It wasn't like it was bad, but I think time makes you forget how bad things are, which is why I keep a big list. So I never forget how awful it was. Because anytime I catch myself thinking like, man, if I'd have just stayed in, like I'd be doing this and this and this. Like, well, no, hang on, wait a minute. Let's go back to the list. Oh, right, you hated every day of your life. I was constantly stressed out. I was angry and frustrated. These are the words for the same thing. So I got out when I did, and I do not regret it. Totally worth it. Now, whether I should have like taken my skill set and done something like the NSA or whatever, you know, that's something I can talk about. Probably not. Like, I didn't have a whole lot of experience in that particular side of things. And I haven't really kept up with my language skills either, which is kind of disappointing. Like, I remember a lot of Arabic, but not enough to really be fluent or even have a conversation beyond telling you what color the car is, stuff like that. Make it go away. There it goes. Yeah, so Emmykins is always here to remind me. Like, maybe I should go back in. I actually remember, so this is a kind of a funny story, probably not that funny, unless you're me. I got a text from someone who was, I don't know, it was National Guard or reservist, and they're like, hey, come in and like talk about, you know, re-enlisting or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no. But the guy who was texting me had the same last name as one of the NCOs in my unit, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing in Minnesota? And so I just showed up, and it's like, oh, it's not the same guy, it's just a guy that has the same last name. So this was a waste of my time to come in. I wasn't ever gonna re-enlist. I just wanted to see the guy, but it wasn't even the same guy. That's why first names are so important. You want to know both before you commit to something. All right, rolling around. We're getting very close here. Oop, I just want the intersect, please. Not the apoapsis. Nope. Just really? Oh, there we go. Intersect. We got it. Oh yeah, we're getting real close, guys. So one more go around and we should be pretty good. Just get that separation down. Okay, too much. Let's double check our RCS. We have plenty of monoprop. That's good. And sorry if it's so dark. It's it is what it is on the map mode. You should hopefully be able to see what I'm doing, though. I'll try to keep it not boring, if that's even possible. All right, so separation 1.5 kilometers. We'll be going 5.2 meters per second relative, so we need at least 5.2 meters per second, which we have. We have 80. And then it's just a matter of doing the docking and stuff. And if you are not a Kerbal Space Program player, or you've never attempted docking, it is harder than it looks, but easier than it feels, if that makes any sense. It's like, it's not as hard as it might seem to be if you're trying to learn how to do it, but once you know how to do it, you can make it look incredibly easy to get rendezvous and do docking and stuff. All right, so there we go. I actually want to be pointing at the target for this one. Where is the target? I don't even see it. Okay, there's the... There it is, okay. What I'm doing right now is I am attempting to move towards the target. I don't know why it's giving me so much trouble. Let's turn on the big engine. There we go. That's better. So what I'm doing now is, so in KSP, there are two sets of controls you can use on the keyboard. There is the WASD, which of course controls your pitch and your yaw and your roll. The Q and the E controls the roll. And then you also have the I, J, K, L, H, and N, which controls your, like, your movements, like up and down and back and forth and side to side. I don't know what that is called. I guess like translation, I think it's called. And I should probably keep an eye on the monoprop here. Oh yeah, we got plenty. This thing sips the monoprop for what it does. That's it, translation, yeah. So Urban knows. And that's basically, once you know those controls, it's very easy to dock. So the main thing is you need to have three things lined up. You need to have your heading and your prograde marker and the target marker all lined up like I have now. So you have the pink, the yellow, and then the little orange V thing on your nav ball. And when those are all lined up, that means that you are heading in the same direction as your target, and you're going to collide with it essentially. And that's what docking is. You're colliding with your target, just in a controlled manner, preferably with the docking port involved. All right. So one of the issues we're going to run into is that this other vessel does not have a pilot, so it cannot have SAS on. So we're going to have to do all the work in this craft. So Urban, what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to learn how to dock for the first time? My advice is learn the translation controls. Does that sound about right to you? We should switch altimeter modes there so it doesn't keep freaking out. Because I think a lot of people who start playing the game for the first time, like they get to orbit and they're like, okay, cool, now what? It's like, well, okay, you can go to the MUN, you can do blah, blah, blah. But I think before you do any of that, you should learn how to dock, because that lets you do like Apollo style missions. It lets you refuel in space. And sure, you can do an all-in-one get there, land, take off, return vehicle, like the standard Toyota Corolla MUN lander design. But there's something very satisfying about the efficiency you can achieve with a separate lander, like transfer orbiter style Apollo thing, which is what I have now. This is the lander piece, but then I have this other piece up here that it has nuclear engines to get me back to Kerbal much more efficiently. Also, yeah, learn to read the nav ball. The nav ball is the most important part. The only time I look at the ships is when I'm very close and I need to make sure that I'm oriented correctly relative to the other ship. But yeah, knowing how to read the nav ball is extremely important. You should know what all the markers mean, at least, and how to get them to move the way that you want them to move. But the people here are not interested in KSP tutorials. They are here for action and excitement. And I will give that to you shortly when we begin the docking process. There's going to be explosions, action, shootouts, car chases. Probably not. Hopefully not an explosion. That would not be conducive to a safe docking procedure. I'm blowing up my... Well, we've already had that happen, right? I assume you've seen the clip where Jeb got blowed up. Do it, I won't. No, I won't. You're right. Not in hard mode. If I could revert, I would absolutely do it for the lulz. That would actually be kind of a fun redemption. Like, crash the ship you're flying. But yeah, in real mode, in hard mode, where there's no reverts, no quick saves, any of that, I cannot afford to just go around crashing ships for fun. Clown Fiasco's recent experiments have been hacking the fireworks using the Cal to make mega bombs. Well, that sounds like a fun time. I know you can use the fireworks as kind of makeshift, like, weaponry for your fighters. Like, it looks like they're shooting lasers or whatever. I think Charney does that. He was building... He likes to build fighter craft for whatever reason. I don't know. Everybody's got their kinks. In my case, I've never used the fireworks. I've seen absolutely no reason. Like, they added them as one of the final updates. I looked at it and was like, I'm never going to use these. They serve no practical purpose. And I just never touched them again. But yeah, the hacking with the Cal controller somewhat interests me. Whether that's overclocking your engines or, you know, whatever else you could think of. Have I used the Cal? I used the Cal once to try to make a VTOL. And then realized I didn't actually need to use the Cal controller. Oh, shoot. Hang on. We're coming a little bit hotter than I would like. Okay, there we go. I think we've cleared the worst of it. Just need to slow it down a little bit more. Almost had another Jeb situation there, although we were going much slower, so probably would have just bonked off. Okay, let's turn around. Hang on. We need to focus on our target now. So we're gonna go this way. Like so. And we need to adjust. Like that. We're gonna switch to fine controls, and there we go. Wait, infinite fuel with the Cal controller? That can't be legal. At that point, just make a K drive. That at least requires some ingenuity instead of just putting stuff into the Cal controller. All right, come on, guys, let's do this. We gotta dock. Ready to dock, guys. We've been doing this for like an hour. I'm ready for it to end. I want to send this thing back to Kerbal in style. Ah, so close. Oh, you know what? I haven't even thought about... I haven't even talked about the movie we watched last night. So as you guys know, last weekend, we watched It's a Mad, whatever. And this, last night, this past weekend, we watched Rat Race, which is the 90s, early 2000s version. Because, you know, they did It's a Mad World, and then they made Cannonball Run, and then they made Rat Race. Anyway, we watched that last night. It was like pretty coherent, but also very cartoony in a way that is kind of off-putting. Like, I get it's a comedy and it's kind of like an anything goes type situation. But, you know, I don't know why some of that style of humor was funny at the time. I guess it just was. Like, kind of gross out, like mean-spirited, whatever type humor. Alright, it's no Dude, Where's My Car, is all I'm saying. It's an exploit, but a subtle exploit that makes infinite fuel. That's not very subtle at all. You're just taking advantage of the fact that the Cal controller is busted. All right, there we go. We have docked successfully. Finally, it's over. So let's turn off the engine and retract the solar panels like so. Next, we're going to deliver this lander to the station. It's not busted. The cow controller is working exactly as intended. I don't think it was intended to let you make infinite fuel, but I could be wrong. It's entirely possible. Okay. They have the option to disable that feature. Oh, okay, that's good. All right, next up is we need to rendezvous with Jewel 1. So that should be a pretty straightforward docking maneuver. We just do a little bit of this. Yep, just like that. Perfect. And then we just need to adjust to get the proper separation. Point. Okay. 4.2, 3.7, 3.4. And we're getting there, guys. Look at that. That's beautiful. What you like to see, just a nice, easy, short burn, 18 meters per second. 0.9, 0.7. I'll take 0.7 any day. Okay, and then I think as long as this engine is shut off, okay, it is. This one should be turned on. We need to control from here. We need to transfer, well, Verberry can stay in, I guess. Honestly, overclocking into is too cheaty as it overclocks heat. Just, okay. It's not too cheaty because it makes it hotter. But just slap a couple of radiators on there and you're good to go. I mean, I'd love to overclock the nuclear engine because it is slow. All right, so we got 3 hours of waiting here. Let's, oh geez, now everybody is dizzy. Sorry guys. You can overclock the radiators too. All right, well, just overclock the whole ship at this point. Put some RGB lights on there, liquid coolant. It'll be a good time. Orbit, yes, orbit. All right, we're pointing in the right direction. The burn is going to be for 4 seconds. You can overclock the ion engine to make it usable, even with 0 power. Okay. Well, I won't do that because it feels exploity to me. But it's nice that they left it in for the people who want to take advantage of that, I suppose. Just like they left in mods. Like, sure, they could have shut them down. Like, who shuts down mods, actually? Nintendo, I guess? I think, like, Bethesda doesn't shut them down. They just, like, cause problems in the modding scene for no real reason. Like, with paid mods or whatever, they did that. Okay, so we're on track to meet up in a rendezvous with Jewel 1. Just go ahead and keep an eye on our target position, intersect point. And we're gonna warp around once again. Another issue that I think we're gonna have is sending the lander back, because it doesn't have infinite delta V, despite being a nuclear engine. So we're probably going to have to refuel it. And that is unfortunately going to take either another docking port or a fuel hose or something. All right, switch to target mode. gonna start slowing it down. Beautiful. So once what do you guys think I should do after the Jewel mission? Because we spent way too much time out here putzing around Jewel. I think it's time we either go to Drez with a manned mission or Elu. I guess or Moho even is an option. So what do you guys think is most appropriate? Moho or Drez? I feel like Moho is the most, like, closest one, and I can use solar panels. But Drez isn't, like, a huge ask either. Like, Elu's the big one, because the transfer windows are so irregular. Oh my goodness, Gandalf is raiding me? Is it April Jewels Day? Hey, Roros. Not to be confused with Rosos. Moho is harder. Oh, okay, maybe we'll do Moho then, if it's harder. Speaking of harder, Gandalf, how was your stream? All right. We need to... Okay. So there's our target. It's time for the rendezvous. Let us slow down to prevent an unfortunate potential situation. And let's see. Screw that Rosos guy. Uh-oh. What did he do? Playing Stardew? Oh, that's right. You've been playing Stardew Valley. It was super manly. Like just dudes being men and doing manly things. He's stealing all the follows. Oh no. Yeah. Don't give the wrong person a shout out, Urban. We got all the hard wood. And even pulled in some chubs. Man, you have a way with words. That's incredible. Yeah, we're lumberjacking it for a bit. You know, just dudes out in the woods doing wood things with your wood. Well, for those of you who, I assume you guys, if you're coming from Gandalf stream, you're already familiar with me because I raid Gandalf pretty regularly and I'm active in Urban Venture stream, but if you don't, I'm Star Shard, blah, blah, blah. I stream a lot of things, mostly Kerbal and Star Sector. If you want to stick around, stick around. If you don't. Not gonna try to sell you guys. Just doing a Jewel mission. We're at Vol right now. You can see Jewel over there in the distance, the beautiful green giant itself. And Vol is right there. We're just trying to rendezvous with this station. This is our landing craft, which just landed and is now returned. This is our return vehicle to get back to Kerbin. And we need to dock the lander with the station and then send the whole return apparatus back to Kerbin. That is the current plan for the rest of the evening. We need to scooch it over a bit more. Nice. All right, so we should be on a pretty good track to basically collide with the station now. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We're all asking the same question, right? So I'll start. I'm doing all right. I had to work today, so but you know, it could be worse. I could have a really, really crappy job. And other than that, you know, it's just I got the whole week to look forward to of more working and streaming, and then the weekend comes around and everything's better for a couple of days, and then just keep it rolling. So if you're interested in the schedule for this week, you guys might not have heard, Emmykins is going to be on the stream tomorrow. I finally convinced her to come on the stream. We're going to play some Monster Prom, and we're going to do some dumb personality quizzes. So if you're interested in either seeing or hearing from Emmykins, she will be on the stream tomorrow, same time as always. Just like my regular Tuesday stream guest. And if you or a friend is interested in coming on the stream, please let me know. Not the personality quizzes. We'll see how bad they are. I'm hoping it's like, what band are you? And it just gives you Imagine Dragons for every answer. or how Italian are you? 0%. I've been to Italy once. It was pretty nice though. Not a bad country. At least not the parts that I went to. We are 250 meters out and we have slowed to a crawl. I think that's just how things have to be. And at some point, one of these nights, I need to have some KSP fan fiction open and ready to read on stream. How Italian am I? I don't know, you know. I went to Italy once and I got a calzone. Does that count? I like pizza. But I like, you know. Actually, that's not true. I'm not a huge fan of American style pizza. I think the Italians do it right. Very light on toppings, it's not covered in cheese. Just like you put some tomato sauce on there, you put a couple of chunks of cheese, you throw some basil leaves on there, you throw some olive oil or whatever, you're good to go. Put it in a brick oven. But we'll see what she comes up with. I've basically left the stream in Emmykin's hands. She is in charge of everything. She's going to be doing the transitions. She's going to be picking the music. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to be the guest, really. So hopefully I've taught her well and she'll know what to do. Oh, look at that big, beautiful station. We're so close, guys. The triumphant music is even playing. As we, can we get them both in the shot? Not quite yet. We're almost there. Kind of like see them. They're like a whole jewel apart. Emmykins thought Monster Prom and online personality quizzes would be like a teenage girl sleepover. Oh. Do we get to talk about which boys we like the most, too? And then we'll have a pillow fight. It'll be great. Fantastic content inbound. Yeah, we'll see. I might have to delete that thought. It won't get to do makeovers. I could actually probably use a makeover, let's be honest. I was looking at myself in my my phone's camera today, and I was like, oh. Like, why do I look like that? Is it just because I'm old, or is it just because I'm ugly? Or both? Like, you guys can't tell because the little screen is so small, but holy moly. I'm like a troll. Yeah, is that me? Gross. Yeah, it was, yeah, you know. I'll get over it. I think that's one of the advantages of being a guy is you can just be ugly and still succeed. Like, not, you know, there's a limit, but it's like you're judged on your looks, but there's like a curve. All right, let's finish up this rendezvous here. So we're gonna be sending the lander craft over, and then I don't know who's the captain of the station. If it's Val, we're gonna transfer her over and she's gonna take this thing home. Let's go ahead and come to a stop. All right, send it on over. Undock. Back it up. And yeah, this thing should be able to make it over there without any issues. I guess the only real issue is that our the Kerbal in here does not have. Also, lack of solar power could be a problem. It's probably fine though. The Kerbal in here does not have the power to aim on target, so I have to do everything manually. I think half a meter is probably good enough. All right, perfect. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, I always say this like every year, I'm like, I'm gonna work out this year. I'm gonna finally lose some weight and, you know, feel better and all that stuff. And then I come home and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything besides play video games. Because think about this, right? I gotta go to work for 8 hours, plus I get an hour lunch. So that's 9 hours at work. It takes me 30 minutes to walk to work. That's another hour. So that's 10 hours now devoted to work. Then I have to get up in the morning and get ready for work. We'll throw 30 minutes on there. So there's another 30 minutes out of my time. So I have to get up an hour. I get up about an hour and a half before work. So we back off 8 hours from there because, you know, you got to get 8 hours or whatever. There's like 0 time in the day left when I could actually work out. They should pay me for all that. That, you know, whatever. It's my fault for not having a car, I guess. But I think by walking, I'm actually saving money because gas prices are getting pretty expensive from what I understand. All right. Still though, it's a lot of time spent walking to work, at work, thinking about work, and then I stream. So unless I'm streaming my workout, which I'm guessing that the the viewer retention rates on watching a fat man workout are not very high, unless you're already a popular streamer, I suppose. But yeah, you're right, Urban. I should start charging them for my time spent. All right, slow it down. Although I am salaried, so technically all the work that I do is whatever. We got a little off target here. Pull it back like that. And I want to say this thing is oriented in such a way that we need to be pointed straight north if we want to dock with this. Beautiful. And scooch it up just a bit. This is the thing that I call the crane game, because we need to line up perfectly and then lower, or in this case, raise the crane to get where we're trying to go. Uh-oh, we've gone too far. We may have gone too far in a few places. Oh geez, I'm hitting the wrong button. Slow it down. Slow it down. Shut it down. Okay, there we go. I have arrested my velocity. I think we're good. Okay, where are my maneuver thingies? Yeah, you can see the little pink circle on the nav ball. That is where I need that to be on the north thing. That makes sense. All right, hang on, let's move the camera. Okay, yeah, we're almost there. Just a little bit more. Little to the right. Little to, oh, hang on. Nope, nope, oh, geez. Okay. Yikes. That magnet is strong. All right, so we have performed a docking maneuver. We started constructing the first station. Yes, perfect. What else? We're out of electric charge, I see. That's probably normal. Can we stop research for a second? You're gonna lurk in the background? Yeah, do what you gotta do, man. This is not an obligation. Much as I wish it was. Damping, why is it? Oh, because there's no power. Right. All right, so Valentina is here. She's a 5-star, but she's a 4-star. She's not quite 5 yet. Can we level her up? Valentina is now a level 5 pilot. All right. So we're gonna transfer Verbury. Verbury, where are you? Transfer crew, transfer to the cockpit. Then we're gonna have Valentina pop out. And she's gonna go head over to this place. Uh-oh. Roros is expecting failures. Do you guys think KSP2 will have some kind of like part failure mechanic? Not necessarily by default, but something that could be toggled. Because that was something that I was thinking could be very interesting. and that it would require you to maybe bring repair stuff, because right now the only time that things need to get repaired is if you damage it on accident. But if parts had a failure rate and you had to bring spare parts or whatever, maybe that's a mod. But I just think that the unexpectedness could be fun or make for exciting tense situations. Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't want it to be random. You'd want it to like have a timer or whatever that it picks down from. That would encourage part testing to reduce failure. Oh, see, there you go. Now we're talking. Are we getting sunlight yet? We are. All right, good. Give me some solar power. Motor, engage. Locked. There we go. So we're getting some power, just not a lot. Roll from here. Point up. Like so. Ferrum Aerospace mod has part failing due to aerodynamic stress. Yeah, I think that's going to be included. Now, when you say failing, do you just mean like they explode, or it's like over time there's a potential that they could explode depending on how often you fly it? Because I think what I'm suggesting is more of a, I don't know, I guess I'm leaning towards like a random failure rate, but I can understand how that would be super frustrating. Gamer Elliptical can't even get a rocket into orbit instantly. You'll get there. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you know how to do it, it clicks. You can't mess it up after that, I don't think. All right, so this has 1,541 meters per second. I'm going to briefly check the delta, or the delta V map. So we are in vol. So it takes so we're already circularized. It takes 850 plus 620 plus 160 plus another 1,000 to get back to Kerbal. That's a lot. We're gonna need some extra fuel, it looks like. So with that in mind, get back to the game. Your rockets rattle and explode. Oh. Yeah. You'll have to either, I guess you might have to start using the struts to keep them from flopping around, but you could also try just building smaller vessels, because I've noticed that the only time I have issues with wobble or shaking or whatever, it's when I have something really enormous. Actually, the biggest issue I have is when it narrows and then widens out again. So I've had to stop doing that. Okay. So we have Valentina, we have 2 scientists. We're going to need to dock with the target, or at least get close enough. No, we need to dock. It's hard to say what I need to do, because essentially I need to send up the fuel ship so that it can rendezvous, transfer liquid fuel in here, which I'm going to have to do via fuel pipes, and then go from there. All right. And Clown Fiasco recommended scrap, which, yeah, I shouldn't say that I'm anti-modding, although I guess based on my actions I am. I just don't use mods. Like, I feel like the game is great enough as it is that using mods just complicates matters. Farthest you've gotten is orbiting the Mun. That's pretty darn good. If you can get to orbit around the Mun, you can definitely land. You just need to make sure you have a craft capable of it. Are you familiar with the Delta V map? Because I think that's something that could be better explained in the game. And maybe there is. I haven't looked at the tutorials in a long time. Can I stop targeting this or no? I guess not. I don't get to do that. All right, so we're gonna head down to the mining raft. So switch to the miner. And this is where the boredom is gonna set in. And this might be something that I have to run, like I physically have to run it off stream just because it's gonna take forever to fill up a full tank of ore and fuel for this thing. Because if you look at it, yeah, it's got those big fancy solar panels, but that's not doing much for us. All right. Switch back to the Jewel Lander. Let's get it a little bit away from the station. I just don't want them to collide, you know? So if we could go like this, just lower the orbit by like a few hundred meters, maybe like a kilometer or two. All right. Actually, yeah, let's get it down nice and low. Like 15K. Okay, that's too low. 15K, I said. It should process in the background while you're on other flights. Yeah. So maybe that's the thing, though. I don't know if there's any other flights I want to do right now. And it doesn't have power to even get started. So once I... Okay, so question, Urban. If I go to it right now, let's say I switch over there. If I start it, will it just go even if it's out of power right now, or does it have to have power before I do it? So Gamer Elliptical is having an issue building a big enough rocket that's stable enough to not explode. Yeah, I think you're just going too big. Like you don't need a very large ship to land on the Mun. It needs power to start. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It does have a full tank of electric, so maybe we can just start, and then like leave before it runs out. Okay, good luck, guys. Oh, there goes the drill. Yeah, you can easily leave Kerbin with very few parts. I'll actually show you since we're kind of just goofing around on Vol right now. So what is my easiest to land on the Mun ship? Yeah, you don't even need landing legs technically, although they're very helpful. Something like the Conquistador, maybe? Oh, this is too big. Something like an Inquisitor. I think the Inquisitor 2. Yeah, like the Inquisitor 2 can land on there. So I use asparagus staging with 4 liquid boosters. So it's a little expensive for what it is. But it can get to the Mun, it can land, and it can return. It only returns with the capsule, so you have to pull the data out of the Science Junior. But it'll get there and it'll land, and it's not pretty, but it works. Yeah, so I don't know about 10 parts. Like, that's pretty optimistic, but like this is only 50 parts, and a lot of this is superfluous. Like, you could take off the science bits, I'd probably keep the legs. You don't necessarily have to asparagus stage these. I just like to because it's more efficient. So I have another one that we could think about. Like the inspector. I think these are drones. That's not gonna work. What do I have? Maybe Inquisitor 1, I think, could land. Yeah, so here's an example of one that can land that doesn't have all the science parts. So this thing can take off. It's only got 3 legs. So this is 30 parts. It can take off, land on the Mun, and then return, I believe. And yeah, it's make sure that you're using engines that are efficient in a vacuum. So if you're in the early game, stuff like the Terrier is the best that you're gonna have. And then late game, you've got like the Poodle, or mid game, you've got the Poodle. You've got the Cheetah. Eventually you get access to the Wolfhounds, which is like the best ISP, the most efficient liquid fuel engine you can get. Yeah, okay, so you were using the Terrier. So you can see right here, if you look at this design, it just has, this is the landing bit. Like, it's ugly, but it works. So it just lands like that. You hop the Kerbal out, you can jetpack down, do your science, jetpack back in, and then take off. And it has enough. So if you look at the Delta V on the Mun, it's got 3,000 Delta V just in this right here, which is plenty. Way more than you need. And then this section down here has so it has about 1,800 in the side boosters, and then once it ditches them, it's got another 2,200, which isn't quite enough to get to orbit. Like, you're gonna need to use a little bit of this. And then to get to the Mun, it's about 900 Delta V. So, you know, take off about 1,000 from here. You got 2,000 left. You slow down, you land, you take off, you come back. You can do all of that with 2,000 Delta V. So there you go. Hopefully that helps in your redesign. Are you playing science or career? I want to say no. Yeah, I think that's an issue. If for people who play sandbox mode, you can end up sort of way over engineering things because you have access to all these parts and you're not limited by science or money or anything, which is why I always suggest, if you're just playing for the first time, to use science mode. And then once you've gotten the hang of it, to do career, which is what I like to do. It's very common. It's very common to over-engineer things. Yes. All right. The Jewel Lander. That's what we want. So yeah, if you're doing science, then yeah, you just have access to those low-level things. Easy. The hard part is when you start like designing your missions to inherently be larger. Like, I want to send more Kerbals, I want to send more parts, I want to send more science stuff, I need to send a whole science lab to land on the surface for whatever reason. And yeah, sandbox. Back when I first started, all they had was sandbox, and you didn't really get overwhelmed because there weren't that many parts. But as the game has gotten bigger and they've added more parts and they had the DLCs, it's just, I don't want to call it bloated because it's not really, but it's overwhelming for sure. You can easily kind of like get lost in the details, like, oh, well, what is the advantage of this part over this part? Why would I want to use this over this? And a lot of the time the answer is, well, this part is strictly better than this part because it's later down the science tree. But you wouldn't normally have unlocked it at the time that you have this other part. All right, let's bring this down to 15K. Anyway, that's my rant about how to play Kerbal Space Program properly. Step 1, no mods. That is always my first step. And then step 2 is play on hard, because if you can revert, it makes things way too easy. I guess if you are disciplined enough and you can recognize, like, okay, that was my mistake, like Urban does. So he has his flight mode, he has his sandbox or like testing mode, and then he has other stuff. And he would never, ever revert something that was a mistake during flight mode. You can just do what Clown Fiasco does, career mode plus give yourself more money whenever you want to build extravagantly. Sure, I guess that works. I actually think, like, at this point, I'm almost at 4 million funds. Like, unless I just completely bungle it, there's no way I can run out of money. So it's more of a matter of what exactly do I want to do? And in this case, what I want to do Gandalf has never found himself in a position in career mode when I'm broke. I definitely have in the early game, especially in hard mode where the rewards are just super low and you're scrounging up every bit of funds and every bit of science to upgrade the VAB, upgrade the launch pad, and get to the good stuff. Like, we've unlocked the whole science tree, so it doesn't matter now. But no, we still need to upgrade the VAB. Although I keep saying, like, there's no real reason to. We upgraded the runway. We didn't upgrade the spaceplane hangar either. I could build a 4 million rocket easier. I feel like that would be a challenge for me to build something that expensive that doesn't just explode on the runway immediately. Because even the biggest parts, like the real big chunky rocket parts, aren't super expensive, and there's no real reason that I would need to use something that big. Like, let me look at the biggest ship that I made, which I think was that fuel tanker from last week. That was the long range fuel delivery drone. So this thing is just absolutely massive, and all it's designed to do, like, look at it, it's got 6 mainsails, like 9 vectors. It's only 550,000 funds. And it has 2 RTGs, which are like the most expensive parts. All it was designed to do was to get this whole center section to Joule to deliver fuel. And it ended up working. And in fact, I think I could tweak this lower section so that I don't have to burn so much of the upper section in Kerbin's atmosphere, which we ended up doing. But yeah, this is by far the largest thing I've made, and it's only 500,000. Tourist missions. Oh, see, I don't do tourist missions because they're always like ridiculous. Like, first I want you to fly by Elu and then land on Eve and then, you know, return from there. It's like, no, that's not happening. Gather. Okay, we're not on Duna. We're not going to build a surface outpost. Yeah, I guess, like, if you're like Urban and you recover basically every part, then that makes the efficiency even better. But like I said, recovering parts is secondary to me always. All right. Yeah, so I guess if you're just taking them, like if you're doing the tourist missions to go to Minmus and the Mun, easy peasy. If it's like I said, go to Elu, go to Eve, go to Joule, whatever, and then I'll give you 50,000 funds. Like, no, that's not happening. You guys are way too demanding. All right, let's check in on all of our stations while we're doing this. Maybe we have some science to transmit. A Concorde-style SSTO can basically print money from tourist missions. I don't even think I get tourist missions anymore, actually. I don't know what the reputation threshold is for that kind of stuff, but it hasn't come up in a long time. Do we have any science? Not a lot. We may need to do another Mun mission, actually. Hey, Mike. Hey, Bob. Poor Bob. He's only a 1-star scientist. All these, like, young up-and-comer scientists are 4 and 5 stars out of Joule, and he's just stuck on the Mun station. That's so sad. Gandalf says, you can be dumb like me and send a single trip for tourists to the surface of Duna, Ike, Mun, and Minmus, and make 20,000 funds. If you time warp for a couple weeks, you'll get some. Oh, really? All right, well, let's do that. We need to time warp for at least a couple of days anyway to get some ore. All right, so let's see what other missions we have lined up. So we need to plant a flag on Duna, plant a flag on Ike, science data from Ike, science data from Duna, science data from space around Tylo. Okay. Val Ice Chunk we have in our possession. Detect 3 comets with a Sentinel infrared telescope. All right, that's currently working. Explore Eve, of course, and then rescue Rovan. So those are all in progress. Yes, all right. Let's time warp in the tracking station for a bit. Urban says the game keeps giving you contracts that are similar until you wait long enough. Okay. Well, we'll see about that. Let's take a peek at Jewel here and see what's going on. But we have not yet been to Lathe, or Bop, or Tylo, or Pole. Pole, I think somebody mentioned that that would be a good fuel station just because the gravity's so low. It's like Minmus. But it's also on a weird incline, also like Minmus. So maybe we'll see about that. Sauron Howard. Wrong one. I was trying to come up with something for Radagast, but I don't think there's anybody with a name like that. So maybe we're just SOL on that one. It's like clockwork, guys. Look at them go. Zipping around. This is the meaning of April Jewel's Day. Watching the moons of Jewel just do their thing. All right, should we check back in on our mining vessel? See how much damage it's done. Radagast Steyr? Anna Gasteyer? Is that actually a person? This is apparently the year that all Vulcan Riders appliances die. Oh no! Well, hey, I had my hot water heater break the other day, so... Oh, we got the ore done. Nice. And the fuel is done too. All right, perfect. So let's see a little bit of monopropellant going. And there, of course, goes the electric charge. So we'll head back to the Space Center for a bit while that runs. She was a rather unfunny comedian. Yeah, probably won't work then. Like, I don't think you can beat Gandalf Lundgren. Sauron Howard's pretty close. But yeah, I don't think Radagast is going to give you much, and then... Well, hang on, because Sauron's not a wizard. He's like he's a Maiar, isn't he? No, that's what the wizards are, Maiar. Wait. Okay, Lord of the Rings experts. Is Sauron on the same level as is he a Maiar? Because I know he was the servant of what's his face, who was like an angel basically, but like a higher level angel than what Gandalf would be considered. Gandalf is a Maiar, and then Sauron was similar, except he served like Mala something that sounds sufficiently evil. Yeah, I've seen the movies except for Return of the King. I've not read the book. I read The Hobbit. I did not see the Hobbit movies. Morgoth, yeah, that's the one. Thanks, Gandalf. I knew I could count on you. Should we swing by the Min Station? The Min Station might have some science for us. Mia ha? Close enough, yeah. Maya he. Oh, I see what you're going for. We're doing the Numa Numa dance. I'm surprised Urban even knows about that. That's like an ancient meme. Yeah, Gandalf understood that reference. Exactly. That's a classic. I remember when I was in high school, and my buddy who I worked at McDonald's with, his name was Dane. He was like a funny looking guy. He was like kind of fat and he had red hair. And I was convinced we could get him to go viral if we just made a video like that of him dancing around. And then we were going to make t-shirts with his face on it. His name was Dane. So we were going to call it DaneLive.com. And basically we were going to all wear shirts that had his face on it. and it would just say danelive.com on all the shirts. And then people would see that and they would go to the website and they would see this hilarious video of this fat redheaded kid dancing around, and we were going to become famous. We never ended up doing it, but I was convinced that that was my ticket to internet virality. Oh, we got no science in here. All right. Never mind. I can, oh, Urban can wave to Vulcan Rider's daughter and son-in-law who were in the UK this week. How exciting. Yeah, if they swing by Urban's castle, I'm sure he could have the guard let them in or something. Could come by to the royal bedchambers and all that royal stuff. London. I mean, that's basically the whole country, right? I think it's just London and then some farms. How about the Dun Station? What do we got going on here? All right. You know what I should check to see if what the next transfer window is to return. Oh, we have science. Nice. Let's go. Transmit that science. Because if we're going to go back to Kerbal, we're going to need a transfer window, of course. We'll probably save that for next week, actually. And so here's a fun tip. If you have completed all the science trees, or finished all the research and stuff, you can set it so that if you go to the whatever the building is called that I never remember the name of, you can set up a thing that will turn all of your science into funds instead. Oh. Vulcan Rider is shilling a podcast, but Urban has already listened to it. Trying to think. I feel like I used to listen to a podcast, but then I just started watching YouTube videos, and then I just never stopped watching YouTube videos, so that's basically the same thing as a podcast, or like Twitch VODs. It's a good way to get through the day. I think I was trying to start a podcast with my buddy, but he is internet shy or something. I don't quite understand. It's like he refuses to come on the stream. He doesn't want to stream. He doesn't want to do a podcast. Ooh, we got 51,000 funds for that. Nice. And I get that it's not for everybody, but it just, to me, it seems very harmless to put yourself out there like this. Listening is too much like reading. No, I listen to things all day. It's just, I don't know. I guess I prefer to watch things that don't really have like a backlog I have to catch up on, maybe. Could be that. Like, I don't want to start watching episode 300 of this podcast about things, and then there's in-jokes that I don't understand. But then I watch streams of people who've, you know, streamed. I don't know. There's not enough time in the day and too many interesting things to do, so I have not made podcasts a priority. It's called the Administration Building, by the way. So you go here, you do the patent licensing thing, and then it gives you 2,600 funds for every 1 unit of science you would normally get. And if we... Can we just sell our science? I think it's... Heals 1 science. Research rights. All right, yeah, we can just sell off all of our science. And that'll give us 90,000 funds at this point. But we're not gonna do that, because I don't need 90,000 funds. Reading is a gateway drug to math. Yeah. You know, you start reading, then you start doing math, and the next thing you know, you're writing for some kind of weird author. All right. Other things we could check. The Eve station. Oh, the min base. That's still a thing that exists. Let's check that out. I did this for a contract, and then I just kind of left it here to sit here forever. I could probably just get these guys out of here. There's no reason to be tying up a scientist and a pilot and an engineer on what is essentially a pointless mission at this point. Science is full. All right. Very fun. Yeah, we'll just leave them there for now. Gandalf's work here is complete. Making Vulcan Rider laugh, is that your life's work? Magnum opus is making Vulcan Rider choke on a chicken nugget. You guys hear about the Szechuan sauce? McDonald's is bringing it back for all you Rick and Morty fans out there. So if you missed it the first time around, now's your chance. Get your hands on some genuine Szechuan sauce. Actually, you know what I want to do to like finish out the night? I want to make a little rover. Making rovers is something that I never ever do. Vulcan Rider hasn't eaten at McDonald's since 1997, which, as we all know, is the year that they ruined the chicken nuggets by changing them from dark meat to white meat. All right, we need a Robodyne Rove Mate. Look at this thing. All right, the controls are a little bit different in here. Let's make it, ooh, silver. Fancy. Throw some little wheels on there. Ruggedized vehicular wheel. That's okay, that's too big. How about the Rove Max model? Okay, holy moly. What are you guys building with these? This is enormous. Like a freaking sand crawler from Star Wars. And we have the rover wheel. 0.075 versus 0.025. Or we have these like tiny, I forgot how like ridiculously sized these things are. Yeah, you guys just want bigger, huh? All right, let's see what we can do with this little fella. If I can get it to work right. So one of the issues that I always have with probes or with rovers is that they suck, kind of. Like, there's no, I don't know how to describe it. There's no reason to use them, maybe. All right, let's, where are the arms? We're gonna get the biggest scanning arm they've got. Okay, too big. I think it just kind of goes like that, right? That's okay, that's too big. Do the medium one. Yeah, that's more regular size, I think. Nope. Go on the top, please. Okay, there's that. What else do people put on these? I guess we need a solar panel. Just like a regular sized one. Okay, that's too big. This is no, this is the right size. Okay. Low comm wide surface area. Oh, low center of mass. Okay. Oh, I hate the controls in the space plane hangar. They're so weird. All right, let's take a look. I think one of my things that I have against these rovers is that they don't work so well on Minmus and the Mun, which is where I typically would take them. Like, they just kind of slide around all over the place, and it gets very frustrating. See if we can move these guys up a bit. Okay, I guess not. Really? So if now I have to turn on smooth move, which just makes it worse. Like, is it really that hard to put the things where I want them to go? Like, watch this. Watch what I'm doing. So I click on this one. I want it to go up, right? Up, up, up. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do... Okay, now it snaps way at the top. Like, obviously that's not what I want here. Am I holding shift? Oh, now I am. Urban, you're a genius. And don't let Gandalf tell you otherwise. What the heck does hold? Why should I have to hold shift though? Ridiculous. Okay. With snapping it works too. Oh wait, really? Oh, okay. Let's try snapping. It's not quite as good as I would like it. Okay. Go this way. No, stop it. Yeah, let's try that. Hey, not too shabby. Oh, look at that. All right, so let's try placing them first in the center so that they do what I want them to do. Like so. That one to the front. That one to the middle. Call this hang on. Rover X. There we go. Urban says every good thing should have an X, so we're going to add an X to this. Gandalf would never speak like that to his son. Well, you're a better father than I had. All right, let's go up and up and up. There we go. Everything appears to be in order. Now what? Blade Runner. That's the movie with the Nostromo, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not a movie expert. I thought it had the Osiris. It had like that hovercraft, the Osiris. Okay, so we move that back. And the music is awesome. Oh, that's why you brought up Blade Runner. Okay. Yeah, I that was a great idea, by the way. So Urban was the one who turned me on to getting a bunch of YouTube free music basically and using that as a playlist. Like I downloaded a bunch of songs from there that I thought were appropriate for the stream. So that's what I'm listening to right now. If you're ever wondering, like, what the heck kind of crap is this? Well, it's Urban's fault. Blame him. I like that. There we go. So is this thing drivable now? Is that all it needs? I want to say steering direction is normal, and then the steering direction on the back one should be inverted. Let's save it. Let's launch it. Let's go drive it around. We're gonna do this, guys. I'm gonna drive a little rover around. I could have done this at the beginning of the game, sure, if we didn't have the parts. So I'm gonna do it now. And then we'll wrap up the stream. Do you guys have a... Uh-oh. Does it go? Oh, that's right. I changed the control, so I used the numpad to drive. What the heck? What is going on here? Okay, yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay, it turns. Okay, the middle one should not be turning, I don't think. So it should just go like that. That doesn't seem right. Is that how rovers turn, guys? All right, so yeah, the front wheel should be turning to the right if I'm turning right. Hey, that's right, I think. You have a space expert? It's got shopping cart wheels. Yeah, kind of. I would like a space expert's opinion on this, please. Thank you. Most cars just turn from the front, but rovers sometimes do both. Yeah, like, I want to say No, most, well, I don't know. I feel like most rovers would have more like a tread style where instead of actually turning, they would like rotate the whole body like a tank. But I don't know. All right, let's go cruise around. Oh, I don't have any actual, I don't have any sciencey bits on here to do anything with. So let's fix that. So I think driving around the KSC, we could do the thermometer, the seismometer, the gravioli, the atmosphere. We could even put that enormous like intake atmosphere thing. So oh, wrong. I'm going to the VAB. By default, that's where I always click. Come on. It's loading, guys. We're getting there. And leave. All right, I was gonna ask, so does anybody have a recommendation for a Kerbal streamer or any other streamer that we can raid tonight? Because I feel like I've been raiding the same people over and over, and normally I would raid Gandalf, but he raided me, which was unusual, but very appreciated. So if you guys know anybody else that's like a member of the space game community. Okay, so Urban says curiosity and perseverance both steer like mine. Oh, okay. And Urban is recommending King of Space to raid, so we'll get that loaded up here in a few minutes. So we need a thermometer, a seismometer, a gravioli meter, a barometer. I do like that these can just kind of snap on here. And then of course the atmospheric fluid spectrovariometer, which of course doesn't actually go on here. So we don't really need the scanning arm, do we? It's not doing much for us. This looks fun. It's like a little vacuum cleaner. All right, let's go ahead and stick an antenna on there. It's one of these little fellas. And rotate them up. Beautiful. Look at that, guys. It looks kind of evil from this direction, like it's a bug. Maybe if I give it 2 antennas, it'll look funnier. Just strap another one on there, and then rotate it out. Oh yeah, perfect. Look at that. All right, let's send it out to do our bidding. Space muscle car with the hood scoop. Yeah, I guess. I was actually thinking, how much fun would it be to try to break the Kerbal land speed record? Because, like I said, I watched Rat Race last night, and there's a scene in the movie where 2 of the people who were doing the race get into a jet car, and that is trying to break the land speed record on the salt flats, you know, to try to get to the destination to get the money. But it looked so much fun. Wait, why are these upside down? That's unusual. Okay, well, let's slow it down, fix that. Gandalf Lundgren loves John Lovitz. Yeah, I think he's probably the funniest person in that movie, like individually, because just the stressed out dad I can kind of relate to. Even though I don't have kids, I can understand the frustration that comes from them. And he plays it so well. And then the whole thing where they're in like the Hitler car and they go to the World War II veterans thing, and it's ridiculous. It's great. But yeah, like I said, a lot of it is just a little bit too cartoony for me to really fully enjoy. Like, I can appreciate a good cartoon, but I prefer my live action to be a little less cartoon. Okay, so why is it flipping? I guess we can just flip it manually. Like that. Yeah, that works for me. It's kind of weird that it just sort of lets you snap it wherever. Okay, like that. Shoe polish mustache. Yeah, it's a good time. Like, whoever wrote that scene was like, all right, how are we gonna make this as ridiculous as possible, but we have to make it plausible also. Or the I Love Lucy convention bus. That part's great. All right, let's launch it, and then we'll just time warp to sunrise so we can actually do it. Have I seen the current record? I have not seen the current record. I wouldn't want to break the actual land speed record in real life. I'd want to break the land speed record that I have in the game. Gandalf forgot about that. Yeah, I just watched it last night, like I said, because we watched It's a Mad World last weekend. I'm like, you know what? I used to love the Rat Race when I was a kid, teenager, or whatever. So what if I watched it again? Let's see if it holds up. Not quite as good as I remember, but I think that's just how things are when you're a kid. All right, time warp is complete. Let us prepare to conquer the Space Center for a little bit. Yeah, I also said that about Mad World. It's like, it's fine, but it's like a lot of the references kind of go over your head if you're not expecting them going into the movie. Yeah, and this is enabled. Let's see if it works. Okay, so there we go. So it turns a little funkily, but that's okay. So we should be able to get temperature, seismometer, barometer, gravimeter, and the hood scoop. Nice. Look at it go. Rat Race. Yeah, Rat Race is pretty dated as well. I don't think there was anything in there that is particularly, aside from the Smash Mouth concert at the end, there's not anything in there that's super dated. I guess the lady like breaking her cell phone, but you know, I think people will understand that cell phones weren't always smartphones. Like, if I see a landline phone in an old movie, I'm not like, what is that? Like, I get the idea. It's a period piece now. That's what it is. All right, let's recover the vessel. Poles are the flattest place on Kerbal to do it. We might have to do that on a different save where I can kind of cheat my way up there, because I don't want to have to fly something. I feel like that would take too long. But yeah, we'll try making a jet car sometime. Maybe on Saturday would be a good bonus stream. All right. I promised we would raid King of Space. Let us raid this King of Space fella. King of Space. King of Space is not streaming. Hang on. Did I put it in wrong? No cargo plane. I don't want to have to deal with planes. Ice King of Space? Am I doing it wrong? Oh, Ice King of Space. Okay, perfect. He has a little cat thing. All right, that's fine with me. All right, we can do that. All right, guys, thank you a whole bunch for coming by the stream tonight. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Emmykins will be our guest. And yeah, he has a little cat avatar profile picture thing. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow is Emmykins, Wednesday is Surviving Mars, and Friday we'll be back with Star Sector. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. If you're not, then I don't know what to tell you. This is the best I can do. I'm working on it. Anyway, I will see you guys next time I see you. Here we go. Oh wait, I didn't do the thing. Transition.